Hello, everybody. Assuming this is working, I need to know if this is working, so please let me know. Probably not. It says that the internet is very bad right now. So we'll see. I'm gonna go check. How do I sound? Do I sound like a robot again? How do I sound? Probably like a robot. That usually is the case. It usually is the case. But so far, so good. So far, so good. Well, I think it's good. So I'm gonna stop checking. Well, I got I got a message on my one of my videos asking what Magneno was about. So I decided why not explain that. So I kind of went over this in my 1,000 video live stream for what that is worth. I don't know if I'm still sounding okay or not. But in my 1,000 video live stream, I talked about how the origin of the name Magneno Alex comes from a different channel. It comes from Magneno GC, which is what it's called now. Originally, it was called Magneno Inc. because, well, in elementary school, little sad backstory for me, I didn't have friends, so I actually hung out in the library by myself. Instead of playing with kids in elementary school because I had no friends, nobody liked me. Anyway, that being said, hey Quinlan, how are you, my man? Only viewer. But when I was, you know, I was in elementary school, no friends. On the other side of the, not other side of the world, but on the other side of things, we had my friends, Donnie and Justin. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Well, I'm gonna get a little bit more into it, but somebody asked on a video of mine, so I decided to just explain it here. But yeah, so my friends who I didn't know at the time, they were in elementary school, and they were creative little kids. They made a channel called Magneno Inc. because they planned in the future. I mean, not really understanding how things work because they were children, but they wanted to have a company called Magneno. I'm sure there's already a company that exists called that because everything exists, but they wanted to have a company named Magneno. That sort of idea has kind of dropped since then, but that's why there was originally a channel called Magneno Inc. And then my friends started making videos in elementary school, which were pretty bad, but it had some semblance of a story, and those were based off of ideas that Justin and Donnie had. And as it kept going, it got more evolved and stuff, and eventually my friend Justin, who's in control of the channel called Magneno GC, would flesh it out in like novel form. And/or I never get views on here. What do you mean? I mean, I sometimes do get a big amount of people on my live streams, but that's not very often. So, um, I'm just talking about something. You're still here though. I'm really surprised. I thought you left after my Donator Wars reviews. Hopefully I still sound okay. Let me know if I don't. But anyway, so my friends made the YouTubes and they did the stuff. I mean, that's fair. I understood it probably would. I like it too, dude. But I can't lie. Um, Media is subjective, right? There are stories which are considered to be, gospel. Um, in in fiction, like Godfather. I love Godfather for the same reasons that a lot of people love Godfather. But my mother, for instance, finds Godfather, utterly boring, and she can't get into it, even though it's acclaimed as a classic in film, right? It's considered a great film by many people in the film industry. Um, yeah, but with that, you also have stuff like Star Trek, which I love, but my mom says is super nerdy and stupid. So you have the different opinions. You just have to roll with it. Oh, you think I'm right? Well, fair enough. I mean, um, Christopher Nelson is a wonderful guy. Um, Wilkins is not here. He's too cool to be on my channel. But Christopher Nelson said even when the Bounty Hunter Wars trilogy was released back when it came out in the 90s, it was very mixed. People liked it or they didn't like it, and there was no really consensus on it. Yeah, I did end up throwing a book by accident. Actually, I mean, it was an accident. I wasn't planning on it. I just kind of got upset and did it. Hey, Iron. But anyway, back to the thing. My friends made the videos. In middle school, I finally met. I became friends with my friends, and they introduced me to all that. In fact, I saw videos that they were making, and I decided to join in. Well, that's what I was saying. Perhaps I would like it more if I read the audiobook, or if I listened to the audiobook, because the audiobook is abridged. It's way shorter than the actual novel. So if I listen to those, I may prefer it to the actual novel. Anyway, as I was saying, I ended up joining in to their stuff, and I joined in. Pretty much everybody on like Instagram, you have Magneno J, who's my friend Justin, who's in control of Magneno GC. You have Magneno Finn, who's my friend Finn Shamrock, which is his channel name, but on Instagram he's Magneno. And then you have me, Magneno Alex, and I'm just kind of Magneno Alex everywhere. I adopted that. Um, Perhaps because if you don't have anything to say, then you shouldn't say anything at all. Which was the issue I have with Bounty Hunter Wars. I don't want to get too much into that because it's not the point of the stream. I'm not trying to get off topic. But that was the whole thing, right? Like there would be interesting conversations, interesting discussions, interesting bits of story, but then it would go on and on and on and on and on. And if you want, if it's abridged, perhaps I wouldn't have the same opinion of that because then it would be shorter. But my issue is how long it was when it didn't need to be. It's the same thing with the Hand of Thrawn duology and the Fourth Heretic trilogy in New Jedi Order. The difference with New Jedi Order being that everything that happens in the Fourth Heretic trilogy is important, right? Even if it may be boring at times and it may be paced not the best, that stuff carries over to other stories. Therefore, it's more forgivable. Seeing as how almost nothing that happens in Bounty Hunter Wars is ever referenced again, it just all feels meaningless and unimportant. It's not Magneno, it's Magneno. Magneno. But anyway, so I joined in around season 4 of their show. I introduced the concept of being one of the main characters' grandson from the future. And from then on, I was a part of the show. But that's basically it. Yeah, a lot of people thought that. You're not the only one. Pretty much everyone who's ever met me on the internet has thought that was my name, but it's not. It's Magneno. Just say it how I'm saying it, Magneno. Magneno Alex is how you say my name. But yeah, um, I'm afraid of. I mean, I can let people on. I don't know how long this is actually going to be. I don't have too much time. Yeah, no, I mean that's what everybody. You're not the only one. I've heard this from practically everyone. So you guys are not the first. But yeah, if I can share my screen without breaking my internet, which probably will, but if you go over here, you can see Windows, Chrome tab, Nano GC. If you can see that, we have Magneno. 3,000 subs because he made one freaking anime video and it got thousands of views. So he got way more subscribers than the rest of us have. I mean, there is the rest of us, me and my friend Donnie, who's Finn Shamrock, he is around 300, and I'm getting close to 300. But Justin's over here with 3,000. So lucky bastard. Oh, nice. Dead by Daylight. Yeah, it's fun watching it. I'm not. No, I don't have any mega fans. Also, I don't know how long I'm gonna do this for, and I don't know how long my internet is gonna stay decent. But for certain individuals, depending on where they're at, on general, if you check the Blue Pigs general chat, there you go, if you want it. But yeah, you can't be a mega fan of Magneno Alex. It's just not possible. But yeah, so we have this channel. He has overviews after every year, which is kind of fun. These are the most recent videos. I'm not really in any of them. Life gets busy. Actually, that's not true. We have The Sacrifice 2. Literally don't even know what this is about. This just happened after work when 1 month ago when my friend had COVID. See if that works at all. Is it choppy or visible? I can't even tell.
We have the
Sacrifice.
This is the Sacrifice 2. Don't get any closer. It's gonna be deadly. It's gonna be deadly.
Who sharted on this thing?
I did. I'm sorry.
Why did you do that?
I mean, it's part of the drink. Is it a worthy sacrifice for the new koi season?
He's got to taste it first.
Yeah, that tastes. Sorry, there's like a little floating thing.
That's basically it. That. But yeah, so that's the origin. Now you know. For those who didn't know, just like Marcel explained to everyone how to say revanchist or revanchist, you now know to say my name, which is Magneno Alex. And to that one person who made a comment, I don't remember if it was on my Bounty Hunter Wars video, or if it was on my thank you video for 280 subs. But the way that is the origin of Magneno. Of my name and why I use it everywhere. So, this channel was not always Magneno Alex, though, believe it or not. For a time, it was called Alex Salcedo, which is just my name. But then I was like, I shouldn't have my real name on the internet. Or at least that, I guess I just did it right now, but I just didn't think it should be the brand of the channel. Then I switched it to Magneno Alex Gamer. And then I got older and had less time to play games, so I dropped that and just left it as Magneno Alex. And so there you go. There's the origin of myself, basically. But yeah, how you guys doing? Yo, my gosh, it's Magneno himself. It's Justin. What would you upload right now? I mean, if you want to upload something, I can play it on air. If you just post public, I would do it. Give you some clout, even though you don't need it, considering you have 3,000K, mister. 3,000K and you hardly upload anymore. But, that's what happens when you become big and famous. You just get lazy. No, I know he's busy. He's got a lot of stuff going on. But that's good. I'm sorry about your mom and COVID, and hopefully that all gets, sorted out and everything's fine. For most people, I don't know the situation with your mom. Most people, they usually just, get sick and it sucks and they're fine. So hopefully that is also the case with your mom. But yeah. I I don't know what else to do with this stream. That was literally it. I just wanted to explain something. And I have done it. So that is the origin of Magneno. Maybe I'll show you an overview from 2021. Just cause. Tell me if it's choppy or not.
Hey, 2021. Did you save us from the catastrophe of 2020?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Hey, dude, give me an answer.
Like, the actor.
Yes. Well, looky here, what do we have? Another pretty thing ready for me to grab. But little does she know that I'm a wolf and she's clubbing, cause at the end of the night it is
What
her
the fudge he did? He uploaded, guys.
That's what you said.
Hold on, he did. Hold on. If you go back over here, we go to videos. Uploaded 1 minute ago. Walmart Exodus, liminal space. Oh my gosh, guys. You're getting first exclusive access to this new video right here. It's choppy. We shall stick.
We're migrating to Walmart right now.
Who's Michael?
Who's Michael?
Who's Michael?
Oh, it's Michael. It's Michael Myers.
What do you mean?
It's Michael.
Who's Michael?
Myers.
What?
Michael Myers. Michael? I mean, we could.
We don't need anything.
There's only one place that deserves. No, World Market doesn't deserve that. We're gonna pause a fight in Walmart, right?
I'll guarantee. This is literally the full video of that. I mean, it wasn't from Justin's perspective; it was from mine.
I'm gonna do the speaker thing. 100. What? Why?
Exclusive access. You're seeing it
I'm wearing
first.
heels.
Oh,
And my ankles.
I'm sorry.
That's why I don't.
Gosh, we probably seem like a whole migration team here.
Oh yeah, we're in Exodus.
Yeah, we're having our own Exodus, the Walmart Exodus.
I don't realize.
MFW when? My face when?
Justin, are you at work?
No firearms allowed.
Why would they not allow that?
I don't shop at Sprouts
What
anymore.
about that like non-gun gun, the one that shoots like chemical stuff? Is that okay?
What? No,
Still
dude,
here.
chemical warfare is literally a war crime.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the back rooms.
Wow, this looks like my brain.
This looks like articles too. Bro, do not try the cucumber lime Gatorade.
Text me where you
They
guys
want
are.
to go into where?
They're going into
Walmart's
Sprouts.
just around the corner, so.
Okay.
We're gonna go to Walmart.
Okay, cool. I'll just.
really loud.
Get some tea.
Resurrection, Prometheus, and Alien Covenant.
All on one Blu-ray.
Prometheus is technically a prequel, but they included it in there. So
That's cool.
TJ, you can't say that. You're gonna get banned.
from what?
The light.
The light?
They got.
No, but that is the light.
Whoa. Oh, I thought that was 189.
Oh, dude,
I
you
was
like that song they sing? Yeah, that's like a song.
You know what?
I love how the telephoto camera never actually records in this. There we go. It's recorded in the telephoto. I wish I had action mode right about now. Kenny, we're skipping and Kenny's just like shouting so loud right now. Oh shoot, bro. Let's go. Whoa, what? Are you telling me you shrimp fried this rice?
I have.
We can collaborate on this fried rice, Alex.
I don't know. I don't think I'll worry about this. We only got 200 something. It's not a lot. And all I do is talk about Star Wars. So I don't know how it's gonna help.
Stop projecting. Stop projecting. There they are. The boys. We've got Alex.
And I just
We got
the
Donnie.
camera.
They said buzzballs.
We got Ali. We got DJ.
Buzzballs.
And most importantly, we have Kenny.
He clean with it.
He is clean with it.
No! You said 9/11? What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with nothing.
I want to give a visual reenactment. Let's go like and then the two things when they fell down.
What?
Exact
you learn
opposite
from?
of that. You're so
Who'd
bad
you
at
learn
being
from? I've been trying to study.
Yeah? Why did you study with me?
Donnie.
What? All right, we gotta get out of here. Whoa! Whoa! 4K.
Look, we can't get girls,
Actually,
so we might as well
this
just
is
do
1080.
each other.
Well, I I don't remember that ending, but that was that was a thing. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, I mean that's the thing that happened for sure. Yeah. Well, I don't know I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm just I just want to explain it. I've done it. I think I can end the stream now. Unless people come on, but I'll give it like 5 more minutes. Otherwise, I'm leaving. Oh, hey, look. Look who we have. One moment. There you go. We will have a guest in just a second. I still don't think I'm going to keep it on for very long, but you know. Because usually the internet gets worse as people come home. And everybody will be coming home shortly. So it probably won't be super long. But for a little bit, you know, we can have somebody on. If they so choose. But yeah. Magneno Alex. From something that was meant to be a company, which is definitely not the case now, but we did end up creating something that I think is pretty decent, at least in the overall concept. Much like the Star Wars prequels, actually not much like that because we didn't have a budget. We just did it whenever we had the free time. We made 8th Adventures in the Hills, and Adventures in the Hills took several years to make. It took from when my friends were elementary school before I even met them, all the way up until near the end of high school, for us to complete the story of Adventures in the Hills, which in my friend's novel version is redubbed Reverie of Wrath. And it was pretty interesting, though, I think, overall, with our story and the mythos we created, which is a bit different. But I think it was all right. Maybe I should talk about that, about Adventures in the Hills. As that was a big part of my life. Oh, look who we have. The man himself.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. What's up?
Nothing
Thanks
much.
for letting me on.
Always. No problem. Yeah, I was just, I had saw a comment on one of my videos asking what's up with Magneno in my name. And so I just thought I'd explain it real quick. And then I did.
What does it mean? I got it here.
Yeah, it's not really a meaning. As I said in the beginning
just
of the
like-
stream.
Yeah, it's like my name. It doesn't really have a meaning.
Yeah, my friends, before I met them, because in elementary school I had no friends. In fact, when I was in elementary school, I'd sit in the library by myself and read, because I had no friends. But anyway, besides that point, my friends who I hadn't met yet, who they went to a different elementary school, they, being kids, didn't know how things worked, but they wanted to create a company when they grew up called Magneno, even though that probably exists somewhere. And so they made a YouTube channel called Magneno Inc. And they started making a show based off of ideas they had in elementary school. And that went on all the way up until high school. But now the channel's been redubbed Magneno GC, which is where I shared that video just a second ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the origin. And then all of us on like Instagram, we have like Magneno J for my friend Justin, who's in control of Magneno GC or CG. Magneno Finn for Finn Shamrock, and then Magneno Alex for me. And I just ended up using this name for everything. So
Yeah,
that's
cool.
it. Yeah. So what have you been up to?
Nothing. Just been reading comic books, I guess.
Yeah, what was the most recent thing you read?
I read the prequel to the Long Halloween. I can't remember what it was called. Batman something. It's the prequel. It's like it was like 3 stories in Legends of the Dark Knight. That was the prequel to it. It's really good. Did you know that Archie Goodwin was the editor of that book?
No, I didn't. I didn't know that
The
Archie
Long
Goodwin.
Halloween.
No, I didn't. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the most iconic Batman stories ever. So he was the editor on that. That's why I
Yeah,
always say that his stuff, like in Star Wars, is a little bit,
better.
you know. I would say it's absolutely not.
Oh,
Are you telling me
think-
that the Long Halloween is better than Marvel Star Wars? I'm sorry. Just because it's EU doesn't mean it's better.
no. I was saying that it's better than like the Marvel comics coming out around the same time.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's better than every single. I mean, yeah, pretty
Of
much.
Star Wars specifically. But yeah.
Yeah.
No, Long Halloween can't be beat. Even though I've never read it, I know the entire story of it, but I haven't actually sat down and read the actual issue.
You should read it. It's not just the Long Halloween. There's the prequel, which you don't have to read if you don't want to. It kind of sets it up.
Yeah.
There's the prequel, Long Halloween,
Mm.
Dark Victory, which is the sequel, and there is Catwoman When in Rome, which is like a sort of spin-off where Catwoman detailing Catwoman's adventures during the Dark Victory arc. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, he tells a really funny story in the intro in the opening page. So so Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale had gave him this idea of like, well, Batman is such a dark character, right? But no one's ever done an event or a book about him in holidays. And he's like, why don't we do a book about him during Halloween? And it's like, wow, no one's ever thought of that, huh? It's like, that's a great idea. But he also talks about his experience on Halloween and when he was little, and this was like in the 40s, I think. He went trick-or-treating, right? So he went to this one house, and this guy, this fucking psychopath, runs out in the doorway with a rifle, pointing at this little kid. And he starts crying. He's like, oh my God, he's going to kill me. And this guy's like, nah, I'm not going to kill you. It gave him like a ton of candy. He's emotionally scarred forever, but, at least he got some candy out of it. And that's like... It's like, that's my enduring memory of Halloween. It's some wacko fucking went up and tried to put a gun in my face. So, that's an Archie Goodwin story. If you ever wanted to hear one, yeah, it's really nice. Well, what's your opinion on the Marvel Star Wars comics? I think I liked them.
Yeah,
I liked them, but as somebody who's read a lot of stuff from the 70s, I wouldn't say they're that particularly amazing. They're really good for inside of Star Wars, but as a comic as a whole, I would say that they're kind of okay.
They're very silly.
They're very silly. I mean, the art is kind of meh as well.
Yeah, no, it looks like He-Man. Freaking Luke looks like he has like big pecs and stuff when that shouldn't look like that. But yeah, I think I had fun with the majority of the Marvel comics. I never took them too seriously. So perhaps that's why I was able to enjoy them more. Like I took it like as if I was watching the Ewok show or something. Like I didn't take it very seriously.
It definitely feels like that. Yeah, it's kind of like the Ewok.
And so if you don't take it seriously, you can have a lot of fun with it. That being said, when I read the Archie Goodwin ones, not only is the art just significantly better, it still holds up today. But I just think that there was an overall better
the writing's
story
better.
on there.
Yeah,
it shows us the Executor being built and then Vader using it. Shows us them finding Hoth.
I prefer the. Are you talking about the comic strips he was doing?
Yeah, the comic strips. Yeah,
I prefer those over the Marvel comics.
Like, yeah, I do as well.
Because Archie Goodwin just wrote it better, in my opinion. I don't.
Yeah, there's even an issue in the Marvel comics where he wrote he wrote, and there was the art for an issue, and it's just a stark difference to everything else they do. It was the issue I talked about in my latest upload of issues
Yeah.
82 to 108. I don't remember which issue it was, but Nia Num goes on an adventure with Han
The
because
goat, Nino.
yeah, because Chewie's hanging out with his family. So the adventure doesn't really matter. It's not really important to anything, but it's just the fact that the art looks significantly better in that one issue.
You know, I'll just say this. I was talking about this on the Discord as well. People like here's the thing. What you got to understand, even to this day, Star Wars to Marvel is always a licensed product. Like it's like a licensed thing. Like so.
Yeah.
Like if you compare what Spider-Man was doing in 1977, it's way better in every facet. Way better. Because they would just think, well, this is something we can make money off of, but it's not really like it's not Marvel.
Yeah.
Stan Lee didn't create this. Like, who cares? Like, you know.
Yeah. Well, it started off that way. They did start trying.
Oh, they did. They definitely did. But the first issue just feels like, you know.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. I talked about that when I did my review, that when the first issues that were basically just the first film came out, it was garbage. Like the art was awful. It didn't seem like they tried very hard. It's because back then stuff like that wasn't popular. So it's like, well, this is gonna, maybe get a quick buck because the movie's about to come out. It'll be this thing.
They did the same thing. You need to read the Indiana Jones comics. I'll send those to you.
I think you have.
You need to read them because they're exact same.
Yeah. Okay.
The first issue, The Further Adventures of Indiana Jones, is written by the great John Byrne, the man who, with Chris Claremont, really defined the X-Men. So the art is fantastic.
So what I need you to do, because you always have such passion when you talk about all this stuff. When's Tazar's YouTube channel coming to talk about all comics?
It's pronounced Sar.
Sar. When is Sar's coming? He is silent.
Yeah. Okay. Never, because I kind of have a mush mouth and a kind of early on stage dementia. I forget a lot of stuff. So I would be
like a script or something.
Well, I'm a bad writer, so
that's fair.
Pretty bad.
I just enjoy listening to you, so I was like,
I appreciate it, but I'm more of a guest than the main attraction. Yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, so he and Chris Claremont and John Byrne really revolutionized the X-Men. If you've ever seen X-Men the animated series, it's based on their run. It's based on their run. So the art is fantastic in the first issue. Well, by the second issue, John Byrne is long gone. And it gets worse from there. You go from an artist to like, oh, who the fuck is this guy? The art is trash. Like the art is trash. And then the stories are all right because like if you mess up an indie story, I think you're really a bad writer because like all it is like a pulp story from like the 1940s of an adventure. Yeah. And if you can't it's really not hard to write. Yeah. So it's like that. I would even read the adaptations by Marvel of, the original movies like Last Crusade, Raise the Lost. They're garbage, just garbage, just like I really hate adaptations of stuff like that. Like I can read novelizations, but adaptations by comics are just boring as hell. Like you've already seen the movie. Like what are you gonna do to make it different? Like in my opinion. But yeah, The Further Adventures of Indiana Jones. I mean, it's a great read. I would definitely read it if you're a fan. I'm trying to get Noah to read it, but he's so fucking busy to doing anything.
Yeah. Noah's always doing 50 million things.
Yeah, it's I would also say the Dark Horse stuff. What I really like about the Dark Horse Indiana Jones is like there were more miniseries than anything else. They never had like an ongoing. Like Marvel had an ongoing, like for about 50 issues. Dark Horse, I think, understood it a little better. It's like, okay, so here's the thing. Like you got this, you tell it 6 issues, bam, it's done. It's like, and then you do that, You do it like in 3 issues, and then you do it again. It's like, so yeah. I mean, the only one that was ongoing, I think, was like the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. I think.
Yeah.
Which I really like. That show is super underrated. I would say any indie fans who haven't seen that show should go watch it. It's great. It's a great shit. I think you can find it on Paramount Plus because
I think you can find it on YouTube.
I think you can as well.
I don't think they've taken it down.
Well, you know the funny thing about it is, I don't know if you know this, but Disney doesn't own like the full rights to those 4 movies, right?
The one more time.
The first 4 Indiana Jones movies, they don't own the full rights to those.
Oh, they don't?
Well, they own Indiana Jones, right? Since they own Lucasfilm, but they don't own the distribution rights to Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, and Key to the Crystal Skull. Because have you ever watched Indiana Jones and you like every beginning of it starts with the Paramount Mountain logo coming into frame, right?
Yeah.
So so they definitely own a lot of. So what from what I understand is like they will own Indy 5 entirely. And if they wanted to do a TV show of Indy, they could do that, but I don't think they ever will because it's not like Star Wars where it's like people
it's still relevant.
It's not that it's just still relevant. It's like people just associate Indiana Jones with Harrison Ford so much. Like like you can't undo that. Like it'd be like
the Solo movie.
Well, yeah, it'll be like a Solo movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's only the way you could do it would be to go backwards, which means you'd have to get a new actor.
But nobody would accept that either.
Exactly. So
nobody accept and as much as I love the Young Indie Chronicles, which did that, they didn't accept that either.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out, and if I watch all of it, I'll just bring you back on and talk about it. But
yeah, the first episode is really dark. Like Indy gets enslaved by Arab slave traders.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it was. Have
you read the? Do you know what Silent Hill is?
Absolutely, I know what Silent Hill is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. But I never knew until like last week that there were comic books of them, and so I was thinking because I've heard mixed things about them, but I was like, maybe that's something to do for like a live stream.
Yeah, we can do that. I gotta ask. I've never heard of those, but I gotta ask. Are they written by any of the Team Silent members?
I don't know much about it. I saw it on YouTube somewhere, like Silent Hill comics, and I didn't get to look into it too much. But I was like, maybe that's something to look at, even if it's bad. Like,
yeah.
Let me look it right now. I'll look up.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Silent Hill?
What's my favorite Silent Hill?
Yeah.
Number 2. Is that going?
Mine too. I'd say it's like.
You're botting out a little bit. Hold on.
Oh damn.
Oh, you're back now. You're back. Okay, you're good.
Yeah. This is why I was probably gonna end the live stream soon, because when family comes home, that's when my internet starts to dip.
Well, you're good now. So.
Okay. Alrighty.
Silent Hill 2 is my favorite. I like Silent Hill the first one, but I think from all that Silent Hill 1 did right, in my opinion, Silent Hill 2 did it immensely better. Like everything is just perfect.
I don't care about cults in stories. But I just don't. So being about that, just check out all the games. But the main story of 1 and 3, I don't really vibe with. I think Heather is the best because James is kind of personality wise, not character wise. But yeah.
Have you ever played the last couple Silent Hill games?
Yeah, I played
like Downpour. I think that's
I
what's the
like that
last.
word. I don't like. I don't care for better memories. Like, am I understood?
You kind of glitching out a little bit.
Damn.
Okay, I think you just have to stop and then start a little bit, and it'll come back. Uh, yeah.
Okay.
All right, I think you're good now. Yeah, Downpour is really fun. I wouldn't say it's a good game though. Like I
I
wouldn't say
think
it's.
I don't think it's the best Silent Hill game, but I don't think it's a horrible game.
What was that other one before it? The one where the guy was in the
Homecoming.
military. Homecoming. Yeah, I like that as well. No, that's not. That's not it. Was that the
Origins
one? No, not Origins. I
with the
like
truck.
Homecoming. That was on PSP. I remember that. That was pretty good. I just think after Silent Hill 4, the series just kind of lost its identity, in my opinion. Like,
Four. You've already complained
and,
about that one.
well, yeah, but the thing about 4 is like the thing about 4 is like I really love it. Like, I know how weird it is, and people gotta say, "Why is he stuck in his fucking apartment? Like, why is he having his apartment?" Like here's the thing. Silent Hill, in my opinion, did something brave and unique in that it kind of switched it up a little bit, and I think it was for the better. But here's the thing: after Team Silent got disbanded by Konami, I just think Konami like didn't care anymore, or they're like, well, these British people can do just as well as what we have to do, what Team Silent could do. And I think Silent Hill is a game made with Japanese sensibilities in mind.
Yeah.
Like, so it doesn't really translate very well, in my opinion. But yeah, I love Silent Hill, the first 4, and everything else is okay. You know, I wouldn't.
I mean, I think that best. So the Americans are.
Yeah,
Was that understood?
not really.
It might be time to end it.
Maybe.
It keeps dying like this.
Well, you're good now. You're good now.
Well, it's gonna keep being this up and down thing.
Oh,
But,
I gotta ask you.
Hmm?
I did I give you the Mad Max movie novelizations?
I don't think so.
Do you want those? Because like they're really actually pretty damn good.
I don't know when, but
They're not that long a read. I read one in like 2 days, I think.
it's not clicking on. There we go. Is that actually decent? The frame agree up until it starts trying to explain itself. Same problem.
I'll say the Silent Hill movie is better than any of the Resident Evil movies ever were, so I'll give it that.
I mean, next to Sonic, it feels like Sonic at least. Understood?
Yeah, I understood you.
Okay. I'm probably gonna end it soon.
All right,
Just
cool.
FYI. But for instance, if we go here, share screen. Here we go. No, get off. Oh my goodness, I hate this thing. It's annoying. Well, here is one comic. This was in 2005. You see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, this is from 2005. This whole this was, one of the things came out. What is going on? No. Back here. All right. So it looks weird. I don't know how I feel about it. If you look at the art here, it's really weird looking. But
I think it fits a little bit.
maybe.
I think it would have been better in like a manga style because
It might have been, yeah.
it's
But yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think they're fighting monsters in here, which I don't know if these are canon or not.
I don't think
But
this is canon to anything. Do any of the
no, it's
characters from the game
probably.
show up in this comic, or no?
I don't know. They're all original stories.
All right.
But
You know
this
what's a
is
really good comic adaptation of something? Have you ever read the Jericho comics that continue the show?
no.
So the show got canceled by CBS after its second season. And they wouldn't let it continue for some reason. Have you ever seen Jericho?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, you need to fix that. It's like how do I describe it? I think Chris Nelson is a big fan of Jericho as well. He could probably do it better than I could, but I think okay, so the premise is like a bunch of nuclear explosions take place in the United States and the whole civilization. Well, not the whole civilization. I mean, the whole government is fucking ruined. So people start making their own governments and stuff. So it focused on this town of Jericho and these people just trying to survive and just kind of slug it out, I guess, with other people. The first season was fucking peak television, in my opinion. Like peak post-apocalyptic fiction.
Yeah. It's a post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, it's post-apocalyptic. It takes place after a bunch of nuclear strikes. Yeah. Yeah, you like it.
I'll check it.
Oh, if you like post-apocalyptic fiction, have you ever read A Canticle for Leibowitz?
No, I'm not.
You need to read that. That's one of the best post-apocalyptic. I know, but you would really like it. It's like
I believe you.
It's a very deep book about how if it ponders the question: does technology or information really matter? Like if people burn this library down of all the knowledge, will we just continue to be barbarians, or will we eventually? Oh no, that's not what it was. Like if you don't stop the degradation of knowledge, will people just continue to keep? Because there's already a nuclear apocalypse already happened, and these guys want to keep destroying the knowledge, but this Leibowitz doesn't want to wants to stop that because he thinks, well, if you destroy this knowledge, it's just gonna fucking doom the earth again.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you should watch Jericho as well. You'd love it. You'd really like it. It's not like Fallout. It's not like Fallout in the way like it's like it's not a lot of dark humor in it, but it's really good. And it's focusing on these townspeople and the mystery of how all this shit fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you reading right now, other than the Star Wars stuff?
I haven't really read besides that. I'm planning once I get finished with Courtship for Princess Leia, I can finish off the prequel trilogy started.
Are you gonna read some prequel books?
Dune.
Of Dune. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love Dune.
So I'm
You
trying
watched
to.
Oh yeah. Keep going.
Way to can continue. I can't.
Yeah. Yeah. I really loved that Dune movie that came out last year. That shit was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I
Like
thought it was really good.
I was so skeptical. Like everybody was like, I remember talking to Matt about it. He's like, but you know, Matt's always skeptical of shit, fairly or unfairly. Like, for some reason,
especially with the law.
yeah, I think he just saw how Star Wars turned out, and it's like, I'm skeptical of everything. But I was really, really impressed. I'll be honest with you. The reboots of classic sci-fi have gotten a lot better, in my opinion. Or the classic, it's not a reboot, a retelling of classic sci-fi has gotten a lot better than classic fantasy. Have you noticed that? And don't say Star Wars, because that's not sci-fi.
No, it is sci-fi elements.
It has sci-fi elements, but it's space fantasies. It's not sci-fi. I think there was an author on Star Trek who said, if people think Star Wars is sci-fi, they're fucking stupid. Because he's like, what's scientific about a man shooting lightning out of his fingertips?
It's
nothing.
It's literally magic.
Yeah, nothing. I'm not taking a shot at Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I'm just saying it's like, it's not sci-fi at all.
Dune has stuff that tries to explain itself, even if it's not how the world would work. But at least,
yeah. But
well, Marvel fan, I would say that it's probably one of the best adaptations we've had of a book in a while. It cuts out some things, but
the reason it cuts out some things is because they want to do a second and third movie.
Yeah.
Because like if you were to do like a Dune movie with all the shit in it, it would look like he was right to do that. Like because he don't want another David Lynch scenario where he put all that shit into one movie and it didn't make any fucking sense. Yeah. Also, I love the David Lynch Dune movie. It's a beautiful disaster. Have you ever seen that one?
I have seen that one. It's kind of weird, but
it's a beautiful disaster.
Yeah.
I would recommend anybody go watch that movie. I think it has the ability, if it plays its cards right, to become this generation's Lord of the Rings in terms of faithful adaptation of something that's really good. And I'm not talking Rings of Power. That's a different thing. That's a different beast entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, man. Did you hear that Christopher Walken's going to play the Emperor in the second one?
I hope not. That sounds kind of not good.
Well, you think that, but it's Christopher Walken though. He can really play.
He could play a really good Emperor if he wanted to.
I don't think he's gonna sound like that. I don't think so.
That's how he talks all the time.
Well, I think he could put on an accent. Everybody said that. What was his name? Who is an actor that really? Pattinson. People said Pattinson would be a terrible Batman.
As what?
People said, I'm just saying, like, how you don't remember when he got announced to play Batman, people were like, well, this is fucking stupid. He's gonna be terrible.
Sure.
He was in Twilight.
Sure. I mean, I just don't see. I don't know why Walken would be the best choice for Emperor. But I mean, he could prove me wrong. It just doesn't seem like the role.
I'm just saying. I think he will prove you wrong. I think I think I've seen Christopher Walken in enough serious stuff that I trust him that he can actually do stuff.
No, I mean he can act. There's no doubt about that. It's just I don't envision.
I mean, it's not like Danny DeVito got made the Emperor or something. Like something really out there.
That's fair.
I would love to see that though. I love Danny DeVito. Mr. Magnum Dong.
The guy from Twilight. No, he is now Batman. We can forgive him from all past sins.
Yeah, we're not talking about Twilight no more. I mean, he had a better career than that. He had a better career than that chick who was the main star of Twilight. What her name was?
Yeah.
He's
What's
Batman.
her name? Yeah. Hold on. I might have somebody to help balance out the fact that I'm dying.
All right, we'll bring him on.
Yeah, you both you both remind me. You both are kind of similar. I don't know how to describe it. You both are very passionate, and I enjoy seeing it. But
All right.
yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed Robert Pattinson's. I mean, like I said, I'm willing to be proven wrong about.
But did you,
Walking.
but did you think he was gonna be bad Batman before you saw it?
No, I thought he would pull a Joker with the Dark Knight and be good because I've seen him in the Lighthouse and I knew he could
Yeah, I
act.
know.
So
I saw that movie too, and that movie's
yeah,
fantastic. That
yeah. I
movie's
mean, it's a
fantastic.
little out there, but it is great.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I just think I don't know. I enjoy him more than almost any other Batman. I definitely enjoy him. Like I would say Christopher Bale is like my second, and then um uh Tim not Tim Burton.
Uh, that's funny.
He should be a Freeman.
He was in
That'd
the
be
video
fun.
about how to not attract the worm.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, it's Pattinson,
Right.
Bale.
Well, I have somebody in preview. It's not
Well,
who I thought was going to show up, but
bring him on.
awesome. Yep, for sure.
Hey, Alex.
Hello.
Hello.
How
Hey
are
there. I'm doing okay. I'm probably going to let you take over my stream once I need to leave. And you
Yeah.
guys can just keep talking on my own
you?
stream.
Wi-Fi troubles?
Yeah. Yeah. Alex is in the middle of Uganda. He's in the middle of Uganda right now, so he's got
I'm
pretty bad
always
Wi-Fi.
in Uganda.
Well, I mean, a year ago when me, Alex, and Callum Johns did streams about the EU, my Wi-Fi was terrible. I would be like off of my own stream for like a half hour, and Alex and Callum would just continue it on.
Yeah, that sounds great. Alex, have you ever met that Callum Johns guy? I saw his videos are good.
Callum Jones? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in a D&D thing with him.
Oh, what setting are you playing?
Oh, well,
they-
we're doing Star Wars, but
Are you doing
Oh, Star
D6?
Wars. Oh yeah.
You're doing Weston Games, right?
Oh,
yeah, well, we just started it, and I've never done this before, so it's going okay so far. I am an
And Weston
Ewok.
Games is D6, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm an Ewok that is a slicer.
Ah.
Yeah. So I went through vents. I climbed on somebody's body and went down a shaft with them. It was good times. I also had a really high sneak, and so I was just completely invisible in the darkness because I was going through a cave, and my sneak roll was so good, no one could see me.
Yeah. That sounds like a good character.
Did you give him a name? Did you call him Yubnub?
Yeah, bro.
I did.
You did. Oh
Yeah.
man, nice.
You
Now,
know-
All right.
proud.
Let's see if this works. Everybody keeps, or some people are saying they can't get in, even though it's the same link that Brennan used.
Yeah. And me.
But I'm just gonna send it in the chat, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm just
we'll
trying
see
not to
if it's
get
on-
random people in.
Yeah. I had an idea of like not an Elseworld story, a Infinity story, involving Wicket. I would call him Wicket the Warlord, and it would he would turn Endor into like a Mad Max like setting where he would just go around raiding other people's shit. Because Wicket and them are stone cold murderers. People don't like to admit that, but you don't remember that.
Hey,
The
he was nice
apocalypse-
to Sindel.
It was nice to Sindo, but he wasn't nice to the stormtroopers. He dropped those rocks on their head
What's the one Tales story where they drag off the stormtroopers into the night
and eat
and their
them.
drums drive them out of their mind? Is that Apocalypse Endor?
I think so, yeah.
That is just awesome. That comic book. They're pulling them into pits filled with spikes, picking them off one by one into the darkness, shooting arrows strategically between the gaps in their armor.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I mean, I just love how the fact that no other planet could mount a defense like fucking Endor could. Like nobody else could do it. But Wicket and his treehouse of little bears.
Bright Tree Village.
His Bright Tree Village. Yep, they're the ones who took down the Empire, not Luke Skywalker.
No, Luke's too weak.
Yeah, yeah. It's wasn't there a story where somebody went on like there was like a freaking tourist trap in Endor, Alex? Like it was like a tourist destination.
I forget.
That sounds oddly familiar.
I think it was. I think there was.
That would have to be like a Tales story, I'd imagine.
I think it.
That didn't happen in the Ewoks cartoon or the comics.
Yeah.
And the Tales stories did a lot with Endor.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another guest.
Oh. Who?
Jedi J.
Hello?
Hello there.
Hello there. Anyway,
yeah.
No, I just think Endor is pretty cool. I mean, I know people make fun of it all the time, but you know, Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie. Like,
that's my favorite Star Wars movie as well.
Bar that. Alex, what's your favorite? Is it Revenge of the Sith?
No, it's I had to think about it a lot, but I think it is Empire Strikes Back.
Oh.
Episode 3.
The easy
6.
choice.
Honestly,
yeah. Well, I rewatched them, and
I know.
I thought about it.
I know.
I don't care.
Sorry.
I don't care about the movies as much without the EU, because the EU makes me care more about the movies.
I get that.
They're cool by themselves, I guess, but like the EU makes it so much better. What
I love about Return of the Jedi is like they had mastered the space battles at that point. Like that space battle in Return of the Jedi is the best the series has ever seen, in my opinion.
I would argue the one in Revenge of the Sith is the only one that's as good.
Yeah, it's a little. It's yeah. I would still say it's better, and the ending where Luke and Vader are just, you know, that duel between the two is just perfect. Like it's just
good
perfect.
Stuff.
It's perfect.
Yeah. What all? Hello.
Hello. Yeah. What'd you say?
Okay. I mean, I really like episode 6, but I just don't think it's as solid as a film, technically speaking, as like Empire Strikes Back is, because I think the whole final act of Return of the Jedi is better than Empire Strikes Back, but I don't think the movie as a whole is.
What about Jabba's palace? That stuff's good. The stuff there.
It's good, but I don't think it's a fun beginning. But I think story wise, I think Empire Strikes Back just has something more going.
Well, they had to do that because of Empire Strikes Back. Unless they were going to kill Han off. Unless they wanted to kill him off.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Oh, he's finally there.
Okay. Hey guys, what's up?
Nothing.
Hello.
You guys are talking about Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, and we're debating which one is better.
No,
yeah.
Now, as a kid, like as I say, as a kid, like 5 years ago, my favorite Star Wars movie was Attack of the Clones. But I came to my senses in the last couple of years.
I like Attack of the Clones. I'll tell you this.
Me too.
I'll tell you, it is not the best. That's the best like land battle in Star Wars film. Like no debate about it. No debate about it. Only Endor comes close. But it's like, you know, I will say, but the rest of the movie falls apart. I mean, pretty fast.
Yeah, the screenplay for the dialogue was just awful. But the stuff with Kamino was pretty good though. With Obi-Wan, I liked all of that.
I'll tell you this. What I loved about not Empire Strikes Back. I don't think it's definitely the best. It's definitely.
I just you know, that little thing there.
I'll say this: what I loved about Attack of the Clones is like Boba Fett. Not Boba Fett. Jango Fett is portrayed as this big bad villain,
Mm-hmm.
big bad guy.
Right.
And by the end, Mace Windu cuts his freaking head off, and it's
Yeah.
like, I love it.
Yeah.
It wasn't gonna be like Boba where he kept getting away.
Yeah.
He's dead. His head is rolling on the floor. Like
I wanted to say there's something really interesting about what the prequels do is the perspective on how they portray the Jedi. Because you look at authors before the prequels and how they talk about the Jedi of the Old Republic and compare it to George Lucas' way of viewing it. The Jedi are so like rigid and more they have a doctrine of sorts and like and they're more like traditional and
Okay, so how I would say they portray them in the prequels is it's more like a monastery or a religious order.
Yeah.
There's rules. The rules must be followed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like you cannot.
Prequel era Jedi is very religious, and it's a good thing that they specifically set the Tales of the Jedi comics way in the past. But I think it makes sense from a story narrative the way they did it, to where the start of the Order they were a bit more loose with stuff, and they got more rigid over time. And you see that with real world religion, they're more loose at the beginnings, and they become more rigid over time with following the rules.
You know what's weird?
And you see that with the Jedi until they're destroyed, and Luke resurrects them to be more like loose.
Yeah. What's weird about it is like because in Disney canon with the High Republic, they act like Luke's new Jedi Order in the EU. They're a lot more liberal and loose with the rules,
which doesn't make sense because is it like that? Like only like 100 years before the prequels?
Yeah, like it's only like 200 years before.
150 to 200, yeah.
Which doesn't make sense. How are you gonna?
Why did Disney canon decide that they would like make their version of Tales of the Jedi and Knights of the Old Republic era, but then they'd set it so close to the prequels? It means that there's no more room for any storytelling.
Hello.
Yeah. Who joined? Oh, Die Ghostfish. What's up, man?
Finally here.
All right. Nice. Yeah, it's real weird how close it is to Phantom Menace.
Because it doesn't allow room for the Jedi to like evolve any.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's why I think the second chapter is going even further back in time.
They are acknowledging that the Jedi is going to have to evolve, but the evolution is going to be rushed because it's so close to Phantom Menace.
It's not going to have time to develop like it did in the EU. I'm really glad I stopped following Disney canon a couple years ago. I feel like it's all going downhill at this point.
I still like into the stuff, but I'm not like a shield for Disney canon. Hell no, that's cringy. I'm gonna call out.
So should we discuss Alex's least favorite books?
Bounty Hunter Wars.
Oh, Bounty Hunter Wars. No. You don't like the Bounty Hunter Wars?
What's there to talk about? It'll take 5 minutes to be done.
Um.
Wait, what? Oh, I didn't take a I swear.
Yeah.
I
dipped out. Yeah. I'll just say this about the Bounty Hunter Wars. They kind of ruined Forlom and Zuckus's whole relationship.
Oh. That's true.
It's garbage. I think the EU really missed
yeah,
something.
Sorry about that. I got disconnected.
Yeah. I think the EU really could have did something really well with Forlom and Zuckus because they're different than Boba Fett or Bosk or
I will say a lot of what you're angry at it about, I mentioned in your comments. A lot of that was started by the Shadows of the Empire comic. Like this wasn't Jeter's idea.
Your comments.
Which I hated the Shadows of the Empire comic.
That's fair.
Well, Shadows of the Empire comic is the worst part of the multimedia project. It was definitely the worst of it.
The Boba
and it wasn't even the Dark Horse comic. They also Wizards of the Coast and several toy companies put out Shadows of the Empire comics. All of them like don't line up perfectly. Like if you go find,
I thought that they just stuck the Shadows of the Empire comics from Dark Horse in Hasbro toy boxes or Kenner toy boxes.
Well, they were slightly different because Galoob, the toy company, and what else did Wizards of the Coast put out one? I'll just a second. Let me check to see which ones there are. But there were like 3 or 4 that were for like toys promotions.
I'll
with
just
Shadows of the Empire
I'll just
on
say
it.
this: Shadows of the Empire. The ranking goes this: the book, the game, and really that's it. That's all you really need to do. Like,
I've
there's
not
I like
really
some of the action figures.
that you really don't need to play. If you really want to immerse yourself in the Shadows of the Empire multimedia project, just read the book and play the game. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. Everything else is really
There's one else
unnecessary.
thing you can do. Play X-Wing Alliance.
Yeah, I guess so.
X-Wing Alliance has a lot of crossovers with Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah,
They have
but
you on the outside while he's on the inside.
yeah, what?
I was just gonna say, Ghostfish is the one I think you two are kind of similar. So,
Yeah.
I think
What?
He said we're similar.
Oh.
I just say this, man. If you want to get all your Dash Rendar action, play the game, and read Shadow Games. Read Shadow Games.
I still need to get around to Shadow Games.
Shadow Games is just peak
apparently
fiction.
Decade Bird is going to be doing an audiobook for it, which will help on my commute.
Oh yeah.
What? Okay. So I want to ask you this: what do you guys think of the Jaden Core duology books? Like, I've met a lot of people who are half and half on them. Like,
I have not yet read them.
I really love it.
But I will say one thing: Jaden Core should have been a chick. The Jedi Exile should have been a guy. I am almost impossible to change my mind on this.
Why?
Because Jaden Core being a chick makes Rosh Pennon even fucking creepier and sleazier and makes you want to kill him more, which makes it more of a decision to not kill him, in my opinion.
Well,
and it makes it more fun if you do give in and kill him.
Well, you can be a chick as Jaden Core in the game.
Exactly.
So.
Well, no, I mean, canonically, you could be Revan, the Exile, and Jaden Core were the 3 characters you could pick.
I know canonically, but, you know.
And I think that canonically, they should have swapped Jaden Core in the Jedi Exile. Who was a guy and who was a chick.
Fair enough. I see that with the Rosh Pennon dynamic. It makes more sense for Jaden Core to be a female when you put it like that. I actually played the game.
Also, it brings back memories of Fallout 2, where holy shit, where the same voice actor is Myron, and holy shit, is he a fucking scumbag if you play a chick. Like, he tries to date rape you. He's terrible.
You know, I killed Myron the first time I saw him.
And you get the child killer penalty because he's still only 16, even if he's murdered a lot of people and is a rapist and is just generally terrible. But yeah.
I think there's a way you can kill him.
You can avoid it. You just put dynamite on the ground or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I did. I just bam, he's fucking dead.
You can go on Fallout, but Brennan was trying to say something.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I said what I was saying.
Yeah, I would just say this. I'm really, I'm really kind of upset we didn't get more Jaden Core and we didn't get more Kyle Katarn. I think that was a wasted opportunity.
Yes, agreed.
Kyle Katarn was nothing more than a cameo in Legacy of the Force. He was barely there.
You know, the funny thing is, like, in the Unifying Force, they give him, even though he's usually getting chauffeured around the galaxy by Jan Ors, they have him as one of the pilots protecting Zanoma Seacat. And I say that's because Luke realized it just wouldn't be fair to bring him on the ground mission. You would just have the Yuuzhan Vong being, why do I hear Doom music?
Well,
he just rips his hairs through the entire.
I just think I love the dynamic between him and Jan. Like, it's so different. Compare him and Jan to Han and Leia. Like, they're totally different. Like, it's it's amazing. It's really
it's so good that New Canon copied it. Twice.
Who they copy it for?
Kanan and Hera, and I mean Hera is literally the same woman who voiced Jan in the final two games.
Oh,
Ghostfish.
Yes.
So you explained Jaden, but why should he be a man?
The Exile should be a man because holy shit, they actually finished the male quest lines, and the male exclusive companion, the Handmaiden, is a bazillion times better than the Disciple, who's boring as fuck and a nerd. And then there's the whole sexual tension that Atris has with you. Like,
well, You know who
She
I
wanted
blame?
it.
You know who I blame for that? I blame LucasArts for that, for rushing that fucking game out.
And I blame Fergus for not cutting a better deal, because Fergus is not a very good negotiator.
Well, Fergus is a fucking hack. Like, there's a lot of people you could talk to about that.
Like,
a lot.
even people who, like, from one side of the company to another, they're like, Fergus, he's an okay guy, but my God, he's the worst negotiator we ever had. And, well, he was the only negotiator they ever had.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just think, yeah, I mean, I love KOTOR 2. That's, like, I still can't see how people think KOTOR was a better game. With the
I
full...
think KOTOR 1 is the more Star Wars-y game. It doesn't...
KOTOR 2 is better than KOTOR from a story narrative.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Gameplay-wise, I disagree.
I know some... what game? What game? The gameplay is the same.
Gameplay is the same, but with more customization.
The gameplay is kind of annoying in both of
For
them.
2, I think the maps are more boring, and that's one of my main complaints. And I think the side quests are kind of garbage in KOTOR 2. And the only thing that keeps you going is the main plot. Otherwise, you'd be bored out of your mind.
I prefer that.
Whereas KOTOR 1 has
it feels like there's more
quest
focus
line.
to KOTOR 2.
Let me finish. On KOTOR, I'm already dying on the internet anyway, so the KOTOR 1 has that. It's okay. No, you're good. I haven't been able to be heard anyway, so I just want to finish. But in KOTOR 1, you have Manon with that whole trial, which is that whole side quest is a lot of fun. On Dantooine, you have the whole murder mystery plot, which is and it's all stuff that you don't have to do. It's all side stuff, but it's a lot of fun. And I don't think there's as much of that in KOTOR 2.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think if they would have got a full development cycle, there would have been more stuff like that?
Oh, most definitely. But what's what we had already?
Okay. All right. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, but I think that's a byproduct of a crunched ass development cycle that like couldn't fulfill. Like, I think, because I'll tell you this, KOTOR 2 is written by almost the same people who wrote Fallout 2, one of the greatest games of all time.
That's not entirely true.
Well,
Avalon was a fairly minor figure on Fallout 2.
It's not entirely true, but it's sort of true.
But Avalon was a fairly minor figure on Fallout 2, and he was the head of this.
Yeah.
And
well, who wasn't there?
Two of the bigwigs on Fallout 2. Remember, Tim Kaine and whatever, they went off and made Vampire.
Tim Kaine didn't have nothing to do with Fallout 2. He was Fallout 1.
True, but Fallout 1 and 2, I think some people from 2 also went off to the other side of the family, to the
You mean Troika?
Troika family. Troika's side of the family.
I'm pretty sure a lot of the people who worked on Fallout 1 either went to Black Isle or went to Troika.
Yeah.
And most of the people who were at Black Isle who are working on Van Buren went to Obsidian. I'm pretty sure. So
I thought the split was a little bit later, but oh well.
I'll say this. I should rephrase it. The people who were going to work on one of the greatest games that never was, Van Buren, were going to work on, who were working on KOTOR 2. So it's like that. I think if it was a full development cycle, this KOTOR 2 would have been the greatest Star Wars game of all time. I'll just say that. But it didn't happen, so it is what it is.
That's true. But there are points to be said. I've said some people who really just don't like deconstruction, they have a fair reason to not like KOTOR 2's story. It's very heavily deconstruction based. Although people ally a lot more cynicism on Avalon than I think there was. Because in the end, Krea's wrong. Like, people seem to forget
wrong. That is
forget that. And
people do forget that. She is wrong. Like, the whole point is she's wrong
in subtle ways that are driven by what's happened to her, and you can understand how she came to those conclusions, but they're still wrong.
Yeah. She is still wrong. And I think that's the most important point that people don't think about. It's like, she is wrong. People always assume, well, the game is implying she is right. No, she's not right at all.
She's close. She's occasionally right, but every time she does tell the truth, she's doing it to lead to the wrong conclusion. She'll be right on a few things, but those are just kind of breadcrumbs to lead you astray. I'll be right back.
All right, cool. I'll just say this. Yeah.
I agree
I mean,
that KOTOR 2 story is better.
yeah, for
I just don't
sure.
necessarily think it's a better game as a whole.
There's more point to KOTOR 2 because like it feels more focused on, since there's less side missions and side quests and stuff to do. I preferred it. It felt like you were getting to your end goal faster, and I enjoyed that. I felt like the story
Sure.
narrative was less messy.
It just felt a bit more linear, which in an RPG I
And
just don't think should be the case.
I enjoyed that it felt more linear because my favorite 2 Star Wars games are Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, and The Force Unleashed.
I know, but those are different types of games. It's
I know,
being
but
advertised as an RPG where you role play.
sure.
Yeah,
I still think that KOTOR 2 acts more like a standard story mode game than an RPG, so that's why I enjoyed it more. So, sure, for
Fair enough.
advertising it as an RPG, fans have every right to be disappointed.
I'll agree with you that KOTOR 1 is like a full-on RPG, but as I've said before, this is not me Actually, I'm not making excuses because it wasn't their fault. So it's not like it was their fault. Like it's
No,
like, you know,
they still had what they had done. I'm not talking about stuff they didn't finish or the stuff that they wanted to do in full. The stuff that they did have that was complete and was fully fleshed out was less good than KOTOR 1. The only thing I think it exceeds in completely, even with its, I'm already taking into account the development cycle being messed up. But as for the complete product that they were able to make, the story is absolutely incredible and surpasses the first game.
Absolutely.
But everything
yeah,
else,
I agree with you there. I agree with you there.
At its base, even without the more, I think they could have added more stuff, and I still would think that gameplay-wise, KOTOR 1 is more fun.
Well, we can't know that, but I agree with you. Sure. Look, I'll just compare it like
what we have.
Yeah. I'll agree. I'll compare it like this. Okay, so, let's look at it like a burger. Okay, what's the most important part of a burger? The meat.
Yeah.
So
that's all subjective, right?
I guess, but
I've tried 37 different American fast food chains of burgers and ranked them from worst to best. So,
all right. Well, I'm gonna ask you a question. If you don't answer this question correctly,
sorry. Just realize this is the man that has a collection of soda.
Hey, I love soda. Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's awesome.
Today.
That's awesome.
I added my 654th empty soda can today.
That's awesome. That's a nice hobby. That's awesome.
I'm just saying, I might know what he's talking about.
I'm not saying he doesn't. But where's Whataburger? Where does Whataburger rank on that list?
Whataburger is my third favorite burger place.
Okay, that's an acceptable place. I thought you might put it.
Five Guys is first. Bobby's Burger Palace is second. Whataburger is third currently.
Okay, all right, that's an acceptable ranking. Okay, I won't boot you off. Okay.
Oh, that's the power.
No, I have the power.
Oh.
Unlimited power.
Power.
I
am the
Sith. What was the thing?
Fun to do voices.
Yeah. I'll say this right now. I agree with you, Alex. But I think, as I was saying, I'm comparing it to a burger. The most important part of a burger is the meat, not the condiments, not the pickles, which I hate. I hate pickles and onions. I like my burgers.
Pickles and onions are on a burger a disgrace.
Yeah, I just like meat and cheese. That's all I like on my burger.
At every place, I ordered a double cheeseburger with just cheese and meat to fairly compare everything.
Yeah. So the most important important part of it of something is the meat, and if we're using the game, the meat would be the main quest. So I would just say, if we're going by the most important part, it exceeds it. It exceeds.
However, I will counter with if you went to McDonald's and you asked for a cheeseburger and you were handed a slab of meat with some cheese on it, you would be upset.
And I get that. I get that, but you know what I mean.
What makes
they might
burgers all that additional.
Yeah.
But the side quests can complement. Sure, if the cheese is melted to perfection, if the bun is just perfect in every way,
Okay,
it's gonna add a lot.
I
But
want
the
to
meat
ask.
is the core.
I want to ask a
Core.
question. Okay, you might not agree with me.
He's on your
But-
guys' side.
No, not about the burger thing. So let's compare KOTOR 2 to Skyrim. Not in terms of gameplay or anything, because they're very different.
Yeah.
But would you say Skyrim's main quest is not as important as the side quest, right? Or the exploration element of it? Like, I think that makes it a worse game than say something like KOTOR 1, because even to compare to like, well, what were you saying, Alex?
I was gonna say I think Bethesda sucks at main quests. I think they excel at exploring worlds and side quests. And so I would.
I wouldn't even say that. I would say, have you ever played Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind? That main quest is amazing.
Yes. Yes.
That main quest is made by a man.
That's also because there's barely any voice acting, and most of it is you reading a book for like.
It's Wikipedia mode.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
You know the dialogue system is the same thing that Wikipedia is.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured that. I noticed that when I was playing it.
You just click, and it's like, oh.
15
And then there's
more
another
things.
link. It's more. Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think the most important part of the story. But anyway, that's not important. We'll move on to something else.
You mentioned Crosscurrent earlier, and I was talking about this with Marcel. Crosscurrent is a super underrated novel. No one really talks about it that much, and it is so good.
Which one is that?
I really liked it. Now, Riptide was not as good.
Oh yeah,
story-wise compared to Crosscurrent. Would you agree with that?
I would agree. Yeah,
but
it's still all right.
It was okay, but I think it lost the magic a little bit from the first story. The first story was really distinctive and unique, but the second one was just a step backwards. I think it felt more formulaic than unique.
I'm still baffled to me that Jane Core got a full novel dedicated to him before Kyle Katarn ever did. That baffles the shit out of me. Like,
I mean, there's the graphic novels that were about Kyle Katarn.
But those are novellas, though. Like, those are novellas.
And they're adaptations of the games.
Yeah,
and not all that good as adaptations, to be honest.
I mean, the art in them is nice.
The
They're
Empire's
not great.
good. Considering Soldiers of the Empire, the first entirely last 20 pages.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you could have, like, we got so many novels that we didn't need in the EU. The fact that we didn't get a Kyle Katarn one was just ridiculous. Like,
I think why did we get Ruins of Dan?
No, you're not gonna talk about Ruins of Dantooine. That's a GOAT book. What you talking about? That's like
it's garbage.
It's GOAT tier. I take that over. I take 15 more expansions to Ruins of Dantooine over Legacy of the Force.
No.
Ruins of Dantooine, the first 3 chapters.
No. What movie is that from? No.
With Ruins of Dantooine, the first 3 chapters, I thought this is actually pretty good. The rest of the book was absolute garbage.
It is absolute garbage.
Wait.
But it's absolute garbage in a fun way.
I am God on this channel. Give me a moment.
I need to look that up.
You need to understand something. Okay, listen carefully.
What?
SWTOR has a main plot, and they could have made a novel form. You know what happens?
What?
There is no main plot. Save them to get in because it's during the rebellion, and then you could be one after that. A true role-playing game. But true role-playing game where you can be like a merchant on some planet, or be a bounty hunter, that's cool in a video game. But how do you make that into a novel? The answer is you don't, and it's really annoying that they decided to make a novel about that instead of a novel about Kyle.
Well, I'll be honest with you, like, yeah, Ruins of Dantooine is garbage. Like, I meme on it. Like, yeah, I kind of act like I like it. I really don't, but it's an enjoyable read just to see how a train wreck is like enjoyable to watch. I'll just say this. I mean, there are a lot of books like that in the EU. I mean, half of the SWTOR books are trash. Like, they're trash.
I don't agree.
You don't agree that like a lot of the SWTOR books are bad?
No, the only bad one is Fatal Alliance.
I would say Revan's kind of bad, but all right.
Fatal Alliance is good.
love
Annihilation's
Revan.
the only bad one.
No, it's not.
I didn't like
Annihilation's
Annihilation,
fine.
but I didn't play the game.
Fatal Alliance is
but
boring and bad.
I can't play the SWTOR game because I have Apple, which I know Apple bad, all of that. But
Brennan,
that's all I have currently, and
Brennan,
They haven't put it on Mac. That's
our
weird.
videos.
No,
on
you have
YouTube.
you have to go through and download it through third parties
Yeah.
to play SWTOR
Yeah.
on a Mac.
Yeah.
So I guess I didn't understand a lot of the story references from from Annihilation to SWTOR because I think that one was mostly based on the one guy who's pretty heavily prominent in the game. What's his name?
Is Theron. He is the son.
No, the
of
the
Bastila.
son who's in the Lost Sons comic. What's his name?
Yes, he's the son of Bastila.
Yeah.
Theron Sean.
Oh.
Sean, yeah. I was not interested in him at all. So I enjoyed Fatal Alliance a lot more. Fatal Alliance was not boring. It was unique. There were some interesting story elements.
I don't agree.
I like how okay. So I like how it's good to know this. Bounty Hunter Wars and Fatal Alliance are what like Alex thinks has the same emotional reaction that Noah has to the entire Fate. Fate of the Jedi. That's good to know.
I agree with Noah on Fate of the Jedi though.
Not Fate of the Jedi. Legacy of the Force.
You know what's funny about Legacy and Fate? They all happen because
you haven't read it though.
Yeah, I know, but they all happen because of one thing. Talon Card accidentally running his mouth. He could have just said these are good hunting dogs, not that they specifically hunt Jedi about his Vornskers. He doesn't if he doesn't specifically mention these hunt Jedi, suddenly you have nothing. There's no the Vong don't realize what a treasure trove they have on Merkur. They don't invent the Boxin. Anakin and a bunch of others don't die in a suicide mission that gives everybody PTSD, and everyone turns out differently.
And no weird sex stuff as well. I'll just say this: I don't
know. Actually, there's going to be some weird sex stuff because if without the Boxin, what's his name? If the Boxin aren't around, what's his name? Raynar Thul is going to be fucking a centaur. So
yeah, all I'll say is this.
Oh, that's true.
I'll say this: Legacy was so much better than Legacy of the Force. I mean, not Legacy. What the fuck is it?
Legacy comic.
Yes,
yeah.
Legacy comic. Yeah, I'm having a brain fart right now. Yeah, like I would take that over anything Troy Denny ever wrote. I love those
comics are awesome.
You're gonna hurt Brennan's feeling because Brennan loves Denning more than
I'm a Troy Denning guy. Star by Star is my favorite novel. First time I ever read a book and had an emotional response to anything. So I was like, this is awesome. And I had an emotional response all 4 times I read it. It was a great novel. I loved everything about it.
You should read Troy Denning's D&D work. You'll like it.
The funny thing is, I joked that Troy Denning was so burned out on D&D, on writing. I don't actually know which order he wrote in, if he wrote for D&D before Star Wars or not. But
yeah, he did.
I joked.
Oh, sorry.
He got into Star Wars by writing for West End Games. He wrote some West End Game stuff.
Yeah. So I was going to say his D&D stuff. He was so burned out on it. That's why he killed off the Centaur and the Mermaid off page. She's like, I'm not writing any more fantasy races. I'm not doing it. I'm killing them off page.
I'm talking about his dark. I'm talking about his Dark Sun work, where he created. He created Dark Sun, right? The whole campaign set. He created that.
Created the entire setting. Wow.
He co-created. Yeah. He wrote the. Yeah, but he co-created Dark Sun, and he wrote the Prism Pentad books, which I've listened to on audiobooks because they're really hard to find in print. They're really good, man. You should, if you like Troy Denning. I like that Troy Denning more than the version we got in Legacy of the Force. Like, I don't have a problem with Troy Denning in like New Jedi Order.
Yeah, we kind of always get in a cyclical commentary about Denning, so maybe we should find a different topic.
All right, never mind. Never mind.
New
All right.
New
Yeah.
Jedi Order
No,
is
no,
the
I
best
get it.
there was for Denning. New Jedi Order was, and then
Oh,
there
yeah.
was a drop off to Legacy of the Force, Fate of the Jedi,
I
and
like
Dark
Legacy
Nest. There was a
too.
big drop off. I still liked it, but I can see why people don't.
Yeah.
Tatooine
Yeah.
Ghost is
Well,
still the
they,
weakest. I think everyone can
I
agree.
well,
actually like
people say
I like
take
that.
I like
Jason's
Tatooine Ghost
character.
too, but I don't think it's as good as the others.
I don't agree that. But
Sorry,
I mean,
Alex, you're breaking up.
the point is that. Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
I'll just say
Oh,
this: Legacy is so fucking good. Like I can read Legacy front to back all the time.
The
Like
Legacy
that's
comics,
yes, uh-huh.
yeah. Legacy 2 though with Anya Solo is just not as good to me.
Well, because they couldn't finish it. They couldn't finish it in time, could they? Before Disney bought. Or am I thinking of another thing? Alex, you would know. Wasn't Legacy 2 made during the time Disney bought Star
Yeah, it
Wars?
it
was.
was
And
made
they were
shortly
asked,
before it.
they were
Yeah.
interviewed to ask whether they thought it would contradict The Force Awakens or not, and they said no, that it's set so much farther after that it shouldn't be a problem. And now look at us all this time later. That's when
Yeah.
it was back before the EU was officially canceled, and there was still some thought about will these new films like essentially continue after Crucible, and there was all those theories. So it was definitely after The Force Awakens had been announced because I was reading an interview with the people who wrote Legacy 2, and they were talking about how they weren't worried about Force Awakens contradicting what they were writing.
Well, they had a reason not to worry about contradiction because can't contradict something in a totally different continuity.
Yeah, they just didn't know it at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I love. Oh, go ahead, Alex.
Oh, I was just gonna say, since my internet keeps breaking, I'm probably gonna end it soon. I think Brennan's gonna do his own live stream. His channel's called Quinlan Voss, so you could, if he does, you could maybe join him and continue talking.
Anyone's welcome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I might do that. I love Legacy so much. I love it. I love Cade Skywalker. I know how emo he is, and people are like, oh,
I love Cade as well.
He's an emo drug addict. He's like,
right, but
he also looks like the guy from Nickelback.
He's so interesting though, because you take everything about being a Skywalker, deconstruct it, and that's Cade.
Yeah,
that
you flip it on its head.
I'm not a big deconstruction
guy.
guy.
Why you like Cade? That's not why you dislike Cade. That's why you like him. I think that the whole being so different is what could either make you love or hate Cade. And I fell in the.
It is deconstruction, but I'll say this: it makes sense after hundreds of years that not every person is Sky. What?
100.
Yeah, after 100 years, like not everybody's gonna be the same. Has the same personality as Anakin or Luke. Like not everybody. Like nobody in the same family has the same personality for the. So I think it's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. Yeah, I just find literally every other character in Legacy more interesting than Cade himself.
I mean, I would. Yeah, I mean, that is true. I mean, the characters are just amazing in that book, in those books. So, but
Roan Fell is probably my most favorite of them. But I really do think that his escape from Coruscant the first time when Crate betrayed him should have involved him flying a fighter.
Yeah.
And just absolutely blowing the fuck out of literally everything they sent at him as he did a fighting retreat. Because we are talking about the culmination of the Skywalker, Solo, Antilles, and Fell bloodlines.
Yeah.
This is like the ultimate pilot. And they don't have him fly.
I'm okay with it. I think if you want somebody to be like, Luke, just have Luke. That's the whole. I mean, that's the whole point. Like, I don't want everybody to be Han Solo. Like that's the problem. That's what people had problem with Dash Rendar. He was like, oh, that's just Han Solo.
He's like a halfway between Han Solo and Dark Forces 1 Kyle.
That's why he's weaker. That's why he's weakest in Shadows of the Empire, and he's fantastic in Shadow games.
Yeah, That's
But
the
they
problem.
lead
People,
into that whole.
Shadow Games is just awesome. I don't
Yeah,
know why people don't talk about it more.
Shadow Games is awesome.
I really don't
I
understand
need
it.
And
Yeah,
I
and
need to
so
give me a copy.
there were even the side characters who didn't impact it too much, like the Kalish bounty hunter was just amazing. Just little things here and there in it that are just side characters to the main story. All of it was good. There wasn't one part of the book I didn't like. It was really engaging.
Agreed. It was so good the whole way through. There's not a single moment that I did not enjoy the book.
And
It's
his
paced
droid
excellently.
has the most character in
Lebo.
Shadow Games. What's his name?
Lebo.
Lebo?
Yeah, Lebo.
He's the best in Shadow Games.
Lebo's the best. Also, is it just me if I notice Michael Reeves writes with like partners all the time? There's very few Michael Reeves books.
Michael Reeves didn't he have a stroke though? So he needs.
Is that why? Is that why he does that?
Somebody had a stroke who was involved in that whole, and I don't think it was Steve Perry. I think it was Reeves.
Yeah, but did he have a stroke in the 90s? Because even in the 90s, him and Steve Perry kept writing like together. I always thought it's cool. Like, nothing wrong with the tag team in writing, but it's like
I thought Steve Perry had health issues because Michael Reeves went on to write some stuff by himself, like Coruscant.
Maybe it was Perry who had the issues.
I thought Perry was the one who.
I know Perry's daughter also writes. Like they co-wrote some stuff for Predator.
I think Steve Perry passed away.
What? No, I don't think he's dead yet.
Did he?
No, he's still alive.
Is he? Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm thinking of another Steve Perry, the one from Journey.
No, it says he's still alive. My bad.
Yeah, but looking at
Michael
he's got a
Reeves
bit of a
has-
droop for one of his eyes, so maybe he did have a stroke.
Michael Reeves has issues right now. I think I forget what it is, but he's been getting worse through the years. So.
Okay.
I have to say, Steve Perry wears the same exact glasses as Tom Clancy.
Have you guys? Since we're talking about author appearances, have you guys seen William C. Dietz in the cover for the Dark Forces novellas? He looks like he's cosplaying Tote from Raiders of the Lost Ark with the fedora and the glasses. I was like, man, that's not a good look to go for, brother. Like,
cosplaying which character from Raiders?
Tote, the Nazi. The guy with the fedora. Come on, don't tell me you don't know who Tote is.
The guy who's face mount.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Face mount, yeah.
The guy who got the guy who got the freaking
Indiana
circle.
Jones?
The guys who got the freaking circle burned onto his hand.
Yeah.
In the bar. Yeah.
Have you ever watched Indiana Jones?
Well, I
have watched Indiana Jones. I thought you were talking about I guess you were. I thought you were talking about Tomb Raider for some reason.
No.
No.
No, it's
What's your favorite Indiana Jones movie? Mine's the second one, Temple of Doom.
Same. I love Temple of Doom. It has the best. It has the best opening out of all the. I know that's heresy for some people to say, but I love Temple of Doom's opening.
Unpopular opinion. I like Crystal Skull. I actually really like.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't exactly like it either.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was fine.
I mean, that's fair.
I'd say it was pretty good actually.
I'll say this
stuff takes people out of it, but I enjoyed it.
I'll say this. I mean, it doesn't really take. I don't hate the movie as much as other people. I don't think it's the best movie.
I mean,
but
doesn't
people,
God literally exist?
God literally, in the last couple of minutes of the Raiders of the Lost Ark, God literally kills the Nazis. He literally kills them.
Yeah. So I mean, aliens is too far of the question for me.
I mean,
yeah, that's
no. I mean, certain theological theories would say that any sort of alien we encounter is just a demon. So depends.
Yeah, but
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
I don't think aliens being in Indiana Jones 4 makes it a bad movie. I think some of the choices they make, though, I do
it
love.
means it's connected to Star Wars now.
Well, remember they're all extra dimensional, not just extraterrestrial.
There's the Infinity story where Han and Chewie crash on Earth, and Chewie becomes Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Well, remember, Star Wars is a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
Therefore, Indiana Jones
Yeah.
could be the future.
I mean, but there's also the Alien Exodus stuff where they were going to say that in the future,
People
humans
go back in
escape
time.
AI on Earth and they go back in time and populate the Star Wars galaxy.
Yes.
I'll just say this: I love the choice to have the Soviets be the enemy, the main bad guys in Indy 4. I thought that was such a great choice.
But at the same time, it felt like they were covering their ass. Like,
Well, do you?
every time they did something anti-Soviet, they had to do something like to balance it out. And
I don't remember them being pro-Soviet at all. That movie, I don't really.
I mean,
that.
they were just like they were making the anti-communist groups be, paranoid and whatnot, despite the fact that by the time Indiana Jones 4 was made, everything. I don't want to get into. Basically, everything said by McCarthy was proven correct.
I mean, I don't really know too much about it, but I'll just tell you this. I mean, if Indiana Jones 5 has Nazis in it, that's just so unoriginal and lazy. Like,
yes.
you will be like, wow, Indy 4 was really original, huh?
Yeah,
what would the bad guy even be in 5?
They're gonna
what can you
time
do?
travel. They're gonna time travel and do Nazis again. I'm almost sure of it.
Because you can't.
Some people said that Indy might accidentally at least get temporarily erased from time, and then have to get brought back at some point, so someone else can be the hero or something ridiculous like that. But honestly, given what they do these days, I'd give that a 50-50 chance of happening.
Well, I'm thinking realistically, and I'm probably gonna end it like after this, so that way Brennan can do his. But like, we had Indiana Jones 4, which took place in what, the 50s?
The 50s, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alex, I'm actually something just came up and I'm gonna have to go. So.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I don't know who this is, so I don't know if I should let them in. It says
Why the hell not?
It says Matt Wilkins.
Go for it.
It says Matt Wilkins, pussy. So
Oh God, no! Let's not.
Know.
That's too much.
I don't know. Who
Whoever you are, that name is a little bit too far across the veil.
You gotta change it if you're gonna come in. I don't even know who you are, so I don't know about that one.
It might be Matt himself.
I doubt that.
That doesn't
Does
seem
he
like
own
Matt's
a cat?
humor.
Does he own a cat?
No, I was kidding.
I'll just say this: Indy 5 is probably because you guys have seen that leaked trailer, right? For it.
I saw something about it. I didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah, I saw the leaked trailer. It looks like they're doing Nazis, again, which is
They're doing time travel.
Which is so unoriginal.
I was gonna say, because what else can you do? Because Indiana Jones 4 is like in the 50s.
They could do something really controversial and bring in some of the current political.
No,
you know that they're going to do that.
Can't even live that long.
Don't do
I'm just
that.
trying to think, like, what would be the
statement?
Like, what would be the bad guy in the 60s? KKK members?
Yeah, probably. Well, it would be in the 70s almost at this point.
Yes, I don't know what the bad guy would be.
Yeah, they're probably. Well, I mean, the Soviets are still around, but they're not going to use them again. They're not going to use them again.
The only thing you could do is time travel then, because there's not even any bad guys to fight. I mean, unless
my idea, and I never understood why George never did this, is like, how you could have had, the Nazis, and then
I'm going to add this person. If they're bad, I'll just kick them out.
Yeah, all right, cool. Welcome.
Hello.
Who's this? Hello?
Hello?
Who are you?
Nobody, I guess.
Was that you or them, Alex?
That was the person saying hello.
And then they left.
I'll say this. I'll say this. What they should have done is they should have had Indy fight against the Japanese in the 40s. That would have been dope. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They do briefly.
In what?
I think they're in the bar scene in one of the in Temple.
Oh yeah.
In Temple, the Japanese are doing something funny in the bar scene at the beginning.
That's the opening.
Yeah, but that's a little thing. Like, he's not fighting against them as like an enemy.
Yeah, he means like as an army.
Yeah.
You could have had them. You could have had them fighting in China or something, and he's looking to find something. I don't know. They could have been looking to find something powerful to beat the United States or something.
An
He's got to
ancient
stop it.
scroll.
They
He's got
could
to.
do like a conspiracy kind of like threat within storyline where there's some nefarious people in the up and ups in the United States. They could go a route where there's some shady. Well, there probably is some shady things going on, but they could just put some United States upper. Um, what's the word I'm looking for?
Are you saying the
Corrupt
president is a
leaders.
werewolf? Is that what you're trying to
No,
say?
I'm saying put in some corrupt leaders. Corrupt leaders as the villains.
That would have been funny if they had with the president as a werewolf. That would have been funny.
But that's not really Indiana Jones, though.
He is technically a CIA agent, though. Pretty much. He is part of the agents in the books and the comics. He's part of what the
You have to start making up fake villains.
Yeah.
That
I
just
don't know.
aren't actually real villains.
I would just say
like the Nathan Drake thing.
They could have had the Imperial Japanese Army versus Indiana Jones. It would have been a good.
That would
I'm
be
sorry.
cool.
You could have him sent somewhere by someone in the U.S. and have him sent somewhere, and then he's double crossed.
Wasn't that isn't that Indy 4 where Mac just double crossed him though?
I mean, yeah, that gets a little repetitive, perhaps. But what are they gonna do?
Time travel.
That's all they can do. Unless they make up villains like Uncharted does, or there's just rich people.
They could do aliens. Militia. More aliens come from wherever.
Yeah, but they don't usually have the supernatural unearthly thing as the main.
That's usually the MacGuffin.
Yeah, they're usually the end thing. They're the MacGuffin at the end.
That's the MacGuffin. Alex, what did you think of the scene where Indy had the Holy Grail? Was that accurate? Do you think the Holy Grail would be like a blinged out chalice or like a wood cup?
I think the wood cup makes sense.
I think the wood cup
it would be minimalistic.
Yeah,
I don't think it would actually be wood. I think it would probably be because
there's Alex. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's nothing specifically in Scripture that defines.
No, it's not defined at all. Like it's so minor. Like nobody even cares.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's not specifically defined like the Ark of the Covenant or anything like that.
No.
Yeah.
No, but the Holy Grail. I always thought that was funny. I always thought that was.
Sorry.
I always thought that was funny where the guy was like, "You picked poorly."
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that, but the thing is, making it wood because his stepfather was a carpenter, and I guess he was raised as one too. The thing is, that doesn't necessarily work because remember, they were renting a venue for the Last Supper. So it would be whatever they happened to the caterers had. Effectively, they rented the venue. I don't think they brought their own cutware.
But it probably wouldn't be super fancy either.
It wouldn't have been fancy. It would probably have been clay. It would probably have been clay, not wood, is what I'm saying, basically.
Oh, I know.
Making it wood was a little much. I think it would have been clay. Whatever they were renting out at the place that hosted them.
Well, regardless, it'd be something not flashy, which is the point of the scene.
Yeah, which just shows how stupid that Nazi was. Well, this blinged out chalice is definitely
this blinged out chalice, dude. Obviously,
this obviously the Jesus drank from this cup.
It totally looks like that's like the red button you don't press. Like it's like so obviously not it.
I was over on a 10-day tour of Israel and Jordan.
That's cool.
The Holy Lands, as they'd call it, and you see a distinct difference between churches and chapels and temples and holy places that are blinged out, so to speak, steeped with riches everywhere you look, very ornate. And then you see places that are very minimal, and it makes you think.
Well, in the Middle East, a lot of, not to get religious, but a lot of Christians were persecuted after the Arab conquest. So a lot of their churches could not have, blinged out crosses or anything. Where you see blinged out crosses is like in Constantinople, where they had these huge churches that were blinged out, or in Rome or something like that. You wouldn't see that in like Egypt or Israel or anything like that.
No, and I went through some tunnels to like secret churches that would have been held in caverns to to be hidden, which that
Yeah,
like that
either
was
during the conquest or back before Christianity was even a big thing. You know, the
Well,
stuff
that's I
before
don't want
Rome.
to get I don't want to get too preachy. That's one of the craziest things about the Christian religion is that it's sprung out of animosity. Like usually you have a religion
Well,
build
well,
up and there's not too much like going up against it.
well,
But
to
here
be
you had an entire society that didn't actively want it around,
well, to
either
be
from the
fair,
Romans or the Jewish people, and then it sprung
That's
up
true.
for some
Yeah.
reason.
to be fair, I mean,
I mean, I think I know the
it's
reason.
to be fair, it's not just Christians who had to deal with that. Jews had to deal with that too. Once the Arabs came in, they didn't like
Yes.
them either.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
They-
but
True as
my
well.
point.
The thing is, though,
that
I would say, well, the Jews had already been really messed up by the Romans after one rebellion too many.
Yeah.
So there weren't as many left as you would think at the time, and they're used to getting invaded and then having to
Yeah.
go around for the latest invader. Oh, a
That's
new
literally the
boss.
story of like half their life.
Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Who's bossing us around this time? The Babylonians or the Egyptians? Just of the Romans? Oh, that's a new one.
Well,
Who'd have thought those Italians would have some headed in?
Well, the thing about I've actually read about it, and the thing was like it was so bad. Like the way they treated Jews was so bad. Like what they would do, it was like a cheat code. If you guys ever played Crusader Kings 2, it's so messed up, but it's true. What Western European rulers would do, they would just keep expelling the Jews and taking their money, and then bring them back, and then kept taking their money, and they kept doing.
You'd think at some point you'd be like, you know what? Let's just not move there. Once bitten, twice
Well,
shy.
that's why. The reason a lot of them were in Poland is because Poland, the Polish-Lithuanian crown, never did that really at all.
They, I was gonna say, like, it didn't happen as often as like you would do it in the Crusader Kings game, but it happened a lot of times.
It did. It happened like 15 times in Spain one time. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Although other times it would be like, some of them are a little overblown because at the time there were like 110 Jews in the country, and 2 of them actually did something bad. But those 2 then have a big family, and those big families have that's like half the Jews in the country already are related to these guys because they've only been in the country for like however long, and there's only 2 families, and you just kicked out the patriarch. So where are they just going to leave their family here? Are they going to move with the father? What's going to go on? So some of them are a little less big than the others, but a lot of them were like a couple thousand people just saying, "Oh, sorry, go find a new house."
Yeah, it's
someplace, anywhere but here.
Yeah, that's why the state of Israel exists, so that doesn't happen anymore. So they can't be kicked out all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. Or at least so they have somewhere to go if they do get kicked out.
But that's what I so we can drop it and get off this conversation.
Mhm. Yeah.
But,
Before YouTube gets angry.
Yeah, before they get all pissy about it. The last thing I'll just say though is that's one of the most remarkable things to me. I mean, I've never hidden my beliefs. I have been very open about it on my channel. But I think it's crazy that in a very hostile environment that Christianity sprung forth because, I mean, the people who came to believe in it were Jews, and Jews never really had an idea of resurrection as Christianity sort of describes it. So they were, not going to be liked by their fellow Jewish people because the Jewish people didn't believe that. And then you also have the Roman government, which is opposed to it. And yet somehow, amidst all that opposition, it just sprang forth.
Well,
now it's one of the most influential things in all of history.
Yeah, well, it's a long and winding road, and a lot of people who are portrayed as saints in history were never really cared about the religion and were just doing it for politics. Like what was his name? Oh, Constantine. Yeah, he didn't believe any of it. He just did it because
I'm not entirely sure about that. People say that he did it purely for political reasons, and my God, there were plenty of political reasons to do it at the time. Adopt these people who traditionally have been avoiding service in the Legion. Adopt these people who have, like, even the other pagans were kind of upset by what had happened recently with a recent purge, and they're like, that's a little too far.
Constantine's way later. This is that's 400 years.
I know. I know what you're talking about. I'm just talking about the people who these like people who are so influential in spreading it.
Yeah.
And
well,
they did.
I meant when it first started.
Oh yeah.
Those people were fishermen and tax collectors. They
I get what you're saying. Those people believed it those people believed it full heartedly. Like the Roman emperors who adopted it, there's a little bit of more discussion. Did they actually believe it, or did they just
I would say because with that, why do you tell a lie? Usually it's for three reasons. It's for money, for power, or for sexual things. Is
And all
usually
those, and you
reason.
could all get those.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, what did the apostles, the original 12, have to gain out of it? Because
Nothing.
exactly,
I'm not talking about the original apostles. I'm talking
yeah.
about the people who came after them like 400 years later in
Yeah,
positions of power.
Sure, yeah. But they had to spring that far first before that
Oh,
400
for sure.
years.
Oh yeah,
So
exactly.
that's why I'm thinking that's the most craziest part to me is those
Yeah, that's
first
the craziest era.
100 years where it sprung forth like that. Before you can get all that corruption, it sprang forth crazily in the most hostile setting possible for it to spread, which is just something I find kind of miraculous.
Yeah.
That's all.
Speaking of stuff, I watch a lot of stuff about theme parks, like Disney World and Universal
Disneyland
stuff.
and all that.
Yeah, there's a channel, and he was talking about this weird phenomenon of Jesus themed theme parks.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I'll send you the video. You find it funny. It's like really weird. Like, I would never think like, yeah, bro, I'm coming to a theme park to get some scripture, not have some.
Yeah.
And they're like all over the world. It's like, what is going on? Like, this just seems like a scam. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I should let me. I'm gonna briefly pop out anyway.
Okay.
I gotta check my
I'm probably gonna
GPS.
end it anyway.
All right. Yeah, I gotta check my GPS and see how long it'll actually be to get to the airport to pick people up. All right.
All right. See you, man.
You have a good one.
You have a good one.
You too. Well, it's probably a good point to end it anyway, since we're kind of getting completely off of Star Wars and talking about real world things. So
yeah.
But if you want to know, I'll tell the chat, or no one's watching, but to anybody watching it archived, if you want to hear more of this discussion, I don't know, text me privately on Instagram. I'll follow you back, or Discord that too. Or I have the Mere Christianity audiobook that I've been doing recently. So
you tricked me. I thought there was an actual audiobook of C.S. Lewis.
I think there is, but I was doing my own thing.
Okay.
Because Marcel, this guy on YouTube, I've had him on my streams before.
I've met him before.
He's been doing the all the EU short stories. He's been doing audiobooks for them by doing the.
You know what's funny? Before we go, you know what's funny between him and C.S. Lewis? C.S. Lewis and Tolkien, right? They're both super Christian, right?
Yes.
Well, C.S. Lewis is from Northern Ireland, correct? I believe so. Yeah.
I think so.
Which is. Well, no, it's half and half. It's half and half. Half Catholic, half Protestant. So he grew up in a
Marvel. It's because we talked about Indiana Jones, and Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Indiana Jones is the same. Yeah, this is the sequence. Yeah, I don't know how.
It was Subtrain that got us here.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny that C.S. Lewis is like a super Protestant guy, and J.R.R. Tolkien is a super Catholic guy. Even though, like during that time, it's not like that anymore. But during that time, to be Protestant was to be English. To be Catholic was to not be English.
Oh yeah, I can kind of see that.
Well, it is. You can look it up. Like there's wars fought over it.
Yeah. But I think
since you're giving out Mere Christianity, you should also be forced to review the Narnia books.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, I think that C.S. Lewis's magnum opus was not his fiction work. I think it was Mere Christianity that he wrote, which was a nonfiction piece that he wrote, and I think that was his best. And I think Narnia's okay, but Tolkien.
I love Narnia. Like,
yeah. I'm not saying bad, but I do think Tolkien's work is infinitely better in terms of.
Of course it is, because Tolkien's work is like an epic fantasy world aimed at adults. Like, C.S. Lewis always intended his books for children.
Yeah, and he was very open about the fact that what I care about most in my life is Christianity.
And he snuck all those Christian references in the books.
Yeah. But he was open about it. It wasn't really that secret. He's like, I mean, everything I talk about.
Well, it's secret to an 8-year-old who doesn't know about it, though.
Sure. But I think he's been very open when he talks about when he was live, when he talked about things. It's like, my life revolves around this, so everything I write, everything I say, everything I do will somehow incorporate into that. So I get why he said that, because if something you love and care about and you have a chance to write about stuff, you would somehow implement that. Like, you like Batman and everything, So if you were to write a story, some of those themes would come through eventually in your work because you really care about it. But
and then
but a worldview is
and
completely
then
different.
Warner Brothers would give me a cease and desist for doing that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going under the assumption that you were allowed to make it. But.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I get what you mean. I think C.S. Lewis is a perfectly damn good writer. I really like. I grew up on the Narnia books. I love those books. Do you like the movies? I think the movies, some of them are kind of okay. Some
Which ones? The Narnia ones?
The Narnia ones, yeah.
I like the first two. I kind of stopped caring about the third one.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Have you ever seen the Golden Compass movie?
Oh yeah, I have seen that. Yeah.
You know the author is like a super atheist, right? And he hates C.S. Lewis, right?
Yeah.
He wrote those books to like be the atheist the atheist rebuttal, the atheist acquittal not acquittal, rebuttal to those books. And he failed.
I don't think they are, yeah.
he failed spectacularly because he ham-fisted it right in your fucking face. Like,
yeah, I mean, C.S. Lewis was on the nose, but you didn't have like Jesus walking in. I mean, you had Azrael, but like that was the point. It was like kind of like at least a bit more subtle. And then Tolkien also puts that stuff into his work, but it's vastly more subtle. I mean, besides the obvious creation story in Silmarillion, which is, I mean, it's just almost just like the Bible, minus being like music.
Yeah.
Instead of just speaking it into existence, he had a grand musical thing, but it's still like a similar creation story.
Yeah, but the
devil turned bad.
The Golden Compass failed in almost every way because it's just like, you know what, let me ham-fist it in here and like, you know,
Well,
I don't know.
Funny. Yeah, I think it's funny though that a lot of people that are non-religious tend to be the most preachy about their non-religiousness, which just seems very.
I've always said this: atheism has a church. It has the Trinity too. Dawkins.
Yes, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Sam Harris, Christopher Hitchens.
Yeah, they have a church too. They have a Trinity too.
Yeah. The thing about Christopher Hitchens that I love is how charismatic he is, and I love listening to him debate. It's just that when you actually read what he says on paper, it's more of, I don't like this, therefore it's not true, instead of actually giving good arguments against it. But he's British, and he has that like suave nature, so a lot of people just ignore what he's actually saying, just go, well, he's right because he's British. I'm like, well, read what he says.
I also like how they co-opt Darwin into their arguments when Darwin was Christian as well. He was not an atheist.
Yeah. Well, also, last thing I'll say, I got to get off this topic before everybody hates me. But the scientific revolution, as we know it, was orchestrated primarily by Christians because they, with their assumption that a God existed, that the universe itself could be understood because it was created by mind, which made them go into exploring the universe and trying to understand it. But it was based on that assumption that it could be understood that science was ushered in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Anyway, it's good talking to you. I always find a way to bring Batman into this. I might as well.
You do. Yeah.
I don't intend to do that, but it just always happens. You know.
I just have to do a Batman stream so that way it's not out of place.
Yeah, we just need to do a Batman stream where we watch. I don't know which one. Should we watch Batman and Robin? Not Batman and Robin. Should we watch Batman Forever? Like my nemesis.
Your nemesis, your nightmare.
My nemesis, Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones is one of the best actors of all time. Like, I'm not
awful in that movie.
He's awful. He hates. Every time anybody asks him about that movie, he's like, "I hated that.
I hated it, and I hated Jim Carrey and how silly he's being." Like, what?
I can understand hating Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's kind of a creepy guy. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, you know who should have been Riddler? It should have been Robin Williams.
He was supposed to be in a Superman movie, you know?
Robin Williams?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. He could have been Lex Luthor. I could have seen him do it.
Not Lex. It was like one of the imps. He was going to play one of the imps. The reason I think why Tommy Lee Jones hates Jim Carrey is because they come from two different backgrounds. Like, I don't know if you know this, but Tommy Lee Jones is as Texan as Texan could get. He grew up on a freaking ranch outside San Antonio. He don't. If you've ever watched Tommy Lee Jones, he never hides his Southern accent. He's never hidden it. in
Yeah.
any movies he's done. Like other people had to hide their accents. He's like, oh well, if you don't want to cast me because of my accent, I don't care. You know.
Yeah.
Even in Men in Black, he's like, yeah, I got this accent. So what's up with it?
Yeah.
And I think Jim Carrey is like this kid from Canada. He's like kind of goofy and you know, he's on In Living Color and all that stuff. He's like,
Yeah.
man, get out of here with this goofy shit.
Yeah. But if you're gonna be in a movie about Batman and already the tone is not the most serious, I don't know what.
Well, maybe
I don't
he
know.
thought he was going for the comic book Batman. He's like, oh, okay. And then he's like, what is this goofy shit?
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I mean, I saw him in No Country for Old Men, and he was good in there.
It was amazing. That was one of his best performances.
Anton is probably one of the most scariest villains I've ever seen in any film ever. But I'll leave it with that. Don't mess with Anton. He will kill
Don't
you.
mess with Tommy Lee Jones in general. He'll punch you in the face.
Yeah. Don't do a twin toss anytime soon. And yeah. Thank you all so much for watching.
All right, see you, y'all.